Hello, my listeners. My name is Stephen Kamore. I am a counselor, a researcher, author, and a mentor. I want to share with you an insight on parenting. My focus in this presentation is on strong foundation for a strong child. A foundation is the base upon which something stands or is supported. The strength of any foundation determines the strength of the building. We cannot build a strong building on a weak foundation. It is therefore an undisputed fact that without a solid foundation, no one can create anything of value. This truth is illustrated by our Savior Jesus Christ in one of his parables as narrated in Matthew 7:24-27. I read the scriptures for us to internalize. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and put them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the stream rose, and the wind blew and beat against the house. Yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The main rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house, and it fell with great crash. My listener, the strength of the foundation determines the strength of the house. In relation to this presentation, the builder is the parent. You are the owner of the building. And therefore, the key question you are supposed to reflect on: how is your foundation where you are raising your child? The house you are constructing represents your child or your children. And therefore, it is important, even before you start building the house, you plan for it. Therefore, visualize and ask yourself, what kind of an adult would I like to have when my child grows up? And therefore, purpose to come up with the best plan and put in the best in the raising up of your child or your children. The foundation in this presentation stands for the family. The family is the seedbed. This is where seeds germinate. It is the foundation. And there are three institutions that determines the success of our children. The most basic is the family. Then from the family we have the church. Then from the church we have the schools. And I want to put it here that a weak family cannot produce strong children. And the key question probably you are asking, my listener: how does a weak foundation look like? A weak foundation is a family that is weak in values, that is weak in discipline, that is weak in leadership, that is weak in spirituality, weak in education. Therefore, members survive on ignorance, that is weak on character, that is weak on leadership, that is characterized by retrogressive cultures that tend to pull our children backward. that lack morals. This is what we are calling a weak foundation. And therefore, children raised in this kind of families cannot resist the strong winds and rain that are characterizing the growing environment. For example, they cannot resist the destructive influences of the negative peer pressure, cultism, radicalization, drugs and substance abuse, early marriages, negative influence of mass and social media, and even social immorality like lesbianism, homosexuality, and prostitution. But on the other hand, strong families, strong families can also provide a strong foundation for the children. These families are characterized by strong spirituality, strong character, strong discipline, strong education, leadership. They have good morals, and they embrace progressive cultures or cultural practices. Now, weak families, according to the parable we have already laid, signifies a sturdy foundation that is quite weak, and children brought up in such foundations cannot resist the challenges of our contemporary society, and therefore cannot succeed to be successful adults. On the other hand, strong families are the families that are built on the rocky foundation. These are the families we are trying to build. It is my desire that we make our families a rocky foundation where children will grow and become strong. My challenge to you, my listener, if you are a parent or a caretaker, ask yourself this question: is my family, is my school, is my church a rocky foundation? Purpose to be a wise builder. By building your foundation where your children are growing on. Remember, you cannot build a great building on a weak foundation. And therefore, I encourage you to put effort to make our families a strong foundation from where we shall raise a strong generation that is going to resist the emerging issues and challenges that are destroying our children. Thank you for listening. I desire that you share this information with your friend. Let us reach each other by sharing the information, because information is power, and when it is shared, power is but pride. I facilitate parenting empowerment seminars in the church, in schools, and I have a passion for helping each and us, every one of us, to build a strong foundation from where we are going to raise a responsible, disciplined, and accountable generation. May God help us to internalize this parable and ask ourselves, are we going to build our children on the sturdy foundation or on a rocky foundation? Be blessed for listening. You can always contact me through this number 0721 34 54 50. I repeat again, 0721 34 54 50. Together we can raise a strong generation.